Hi, I'm Tim Mosso with IW Magazine. Welcome. Today we're looking at the Glashütte Original Senator Observer. Now the Senator Observer model seen here is actually a Baselworld 2015 novelty, featuring a combination of vintage and contemporary elements. The watch is designed above all to pay tribute to the navigation instruments designed by the ancestral Glashütte Original Company in the late 19th century and early 20th century. Those deck chronometers were, in their day, essential navigation instruments aboard ship. This watch takes many of those styling elements and incorporates them into a dial that is both modernist in its use of lume and panorama double-digit date, and historically evocative in its balance, detailing, and proportion. The watch sits within a 44mm case with elaborate elements of both satin and polished finish. It does transpose the elements of a pocket watch into a wrist format, and it does so very successfully. The watch is slim. Glashütte Original is perhaps best known as a manufacturer of formal watches, and this watch certainly lives up to that standard with a beautifully sloped and double-stepped bezel. It also features a domed sapphire that makes it quite easy to slide underneath a dress cuff or tight sleeve. From lug to lug, it's large but not overbearing. 51mm from lug to lug with nicely downward thrusting lugs means that it does fit across a broad range of wrists, right down to about 13.5 centimeters in circumference up to a truly tree trunk 20 centimeters. This watch wears well. Again, 44mm across the round of the case. That does not include the crown. It makes the watch large without wearing oversized, so it has gravitas without being excessively weighty. Now the watch also features elements that are wonderfully traditional but fit its mission as a wristwatch first and foremost. The beautiful calfskin strap, nicely bolstered and sheer cut on its flanks, monotone stitch is met with a Glashütte Original deployant clasp with beautiful finishing inside and out. There isn't a single element of raw manufacture here. Nothing stamped, no burrs, no milled elements that haven't been beautifully finished and deliberately finished in either satin or polished fashion. It's also wonderfully substantial to inspire confidence when holding this full-sized watch on the wrist. The dial itself is where the most direct parallels between the deck chronometers or the marine chronometers and the modern Senator Observer can really be drawn. The stylized railroad track outboard of the stylized Arabic numerals recalls those ancestral instruments, and the balance of the small seconds at 9 o'clock as well as the power reserve at 3 o'clock, again, draws inspiration from history but remains very functional in a modern sense, and there is a great deal of modernity lurking just below the surface of this watch. The entire dial, starting with the white gold broadsword hands at center, all Arabic numerals, and both sub-registers are fully energized by Super LumiNova luminescent paint in the dark, so the watch is legible when the ancestral marine chronometers simply would not have been. Moreover, the panorama date at 6 o'clock reminds us that this is a product of the modern Glashütte Original Company, which has made the double-digit date an icon of its manufacture. Now, all of the elements of the watch are produced in-house. Of course, Glashütte Original, rising from the ashes of communism, had to master all elements of building a watch in the era when Swiss parts simply weren't available. Dial, case, and movement all hail from the manufacturer's own factories. Now you can also see that the watch features surprising articulation on its dial. There's great contrast between the matte black finish and the printed elements, but there's also wonderful differentiation between the flat of the dial and the sunken sub-registers at 3 and 9, as well as the step of the date window at 6. Elegantly cut, there isn't a sheer break from the dial base straight down to the double-digit date wheels. Now on the case back, we have a caliber GUB100 manufactured in-house by Glashütte Original. It features an impressive 60 joules, twin main spring barrels, and a 55-hour power reserve. It beats at a modern 4 Hz, albeit with a vintage-inspired balance assembly. You can see the single-sided balance cock with a black-polished swan's neck regulator fine adjustment mechanism. Now, the watch also features the convenience of automatic winding, but again, historical elements reign, with the bridges designed and laid out in the fashion of a pocket watch 3/4 bridge. Although you can see the seam through the bridges is actually there to break them up for easier servicing, the look, the aesthetic, and the vibe is very much of a vintage pocket watch, beautifully complemented by the ribbed Glashütte stripes. We're not in Switzerland here, so these are Glashütte stripes, not Geneva waves. And you can see the clever skeletonization of the winding rotor allows many elements of the movement to be seen even when they are covered, overcoming one of the Achilles heels aesthetically of many automatic movements. Again, constructed entirely in-house, it also features nice modern refinements like stop seconds. So when you pull the crown, and there's a small kerf underneath the crown to allow the nail to be inserted, you can easily stop the balance, halt the march of the seconds hand, and allow precise synchronization of time. A discrete pusher adjuster at 2 o'clock allows rapid correction of the panorama dot at 6 o'clock. You can see this 2015 Baselworld novelty and learn more about it on the Glashütte Original website, as well as our own commercial website, iwmagazine.com.